RT podcast?
It is still the RT podcast.
Still the RT podcast.
You're Joel, not Gus.
I'm
Sitting in for Gus.
I'm not Joel, I am Gus.
What?
Did I get it wrong?
I'm Joel.
He's
That's
Joel.
Gus. Hey.
I'm Joel.
Yeah, introduce yourselves. Is
Joel?
that how you do it?
I'm Bernie.
We're straight off the fucking rails right off the bat. I love it.
Which is
Hi,
important.
I'm Bernie.
Have
Welcome to the podcast.
Have you seen the size of this Red Bull?
I said to Joel, do you want to take the lead on this? Joel was like, sure. Then
Nailed
it's like, right out of the gate.
Tell
So
me.
I realized that because I had a lot going on, like I was on a lot of panels and a lot of stuff, so I couldn't just freely walk around because I wouldn't get anywhere in time. So Jack had the idea to wear a creeper head mask.
Oh.
So I did that. I put it on and I tested it. I just walked out of the like the behind the scenes part.
And everyone was like,
And I
"God,
walked around
fucking hate
freely."
Gavin."
But I walked around freely and nobody was looking at me or talking to me. I was like, this is brilliant. So I was walking around, I was looking at everything. But on the first
You
night,
should have done that and like attach a GoPro.
yeah, the first night I met this really cool dude. I think he's 15,
Yep.
and he made Lego statues. And I was talking to him. I was talking to him and his mother, and they were talking to me like they wanted me to go and take a picture because this guy builds like full-size
Oh,
Lego
yeah,
statues.
yeah. That's
And each
awesome.
one took him like 100 hours to build.
They're like
So-
life-size statues.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I put the thing on, and I was like, right, I'm gonna go find this dude and try and sneak a picture with him before people see me. So I walked all around and I found it. And I just walked up to him in the thing, and I was like, psst, hey, it's me. And I was like, let's take a picture real quick. So I went into his booth. There's actually a picture of it up on the screen if we cut to that at some point. But there it is. So see, they're actually like full-size
That's awesome.
Lego
I didn't even know
statues.
that was there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I didn't even know that
Now,
was
what
there.
you can see in that picture is that there's one sat down in a chair, right? So I stand in his booth with him, and his mother's there ready to take the picture. I take off my creeper hat, and I hit one of the statues with it. The head comes off and just goes, and like smashed into 1,000 pieces. And I'm just looking at it, and everyone's turned to look at me, and I've got my hat off, and I just look at the ground. I look at him, I look at his mom, I look at everyone. I'm just like. So I just take the creeper hat and put it on the Lego statue where the head used to be.
I think
Did you
someone
really?
caught
Yeah.
that in a
And they just
video.
ran?
No, and I just took a picture with him, and I took it, and I was like, I'm really sorry, and I just left. But everyone knew it was me at that point. It took me like 20 minutes to get
See,
back.
I always thought that those were fake, and now I know they're
Yeah.
real. So they're
And
authentic,
there was a
actual
sign
Yeah,
that
he
said,
built it there, right?
There
I
was
mean,
a sign that said, these are glued, but they're very delicate.
Well-
Do not touch. And I just,
Wow,
You
so
said
they
it's
were
hard to
glued.
see.
yeah, it was
those.
glued. I just swung the head, because like, you can't see in the thing. I didn't even know there was one next to me. I was just like, clunk, and it just flew off. Bollocksed it.
How did you feel? Did you have
I
trouble
felt
sleeping?
awful. I still feel bad.
Yeah,
so
that is. You should feel bad. That's bad.
I do. And I'm really sorry that I broke your Lego head.
Which, by the way,
Funny
it's
weather?
raining in Austin. How happy it's raining in Austin? I looked at the weather forecast. It looks like it's going to be raining for like a week.
A week.
I can't.
Straight.
That's awesome.
Why is that awesome?
Because
It was did you feel? Were you here last week?
Yeah, I went swimming every day. It was top. Swimming
What
with
is
Bevs.
wrong with you?
What's wrong with
It
swimming?
was too hot. 106.
how can it be too hot to swim, Joel? That makes
Too
no
hot.
goddamn
It
sense.
was
too
perfect.
hot?
What,
When
you
the
swimming in a
water
hot
is
tub?
boiling,
No.
And you're like, I'm a crawfish.
You're swimming in a cauldron, aren't you? I'm a crawfish.
Do you think crawfish are swimming? When they're in
don't
boiling
know.
water, it's like a good time. We're so happy. They have a little diving board, and they all go up one at a time
Yeah.
and
Have
jump
you ever
in.
killed a lobster?
Have I ever killed a lobster?
Or do you just like plop them in the boiling water?
I've never cooked lobster. I can say I've never done that.
I think you
Done
better
that a
stab 'em
couple
in the top of the
times,
head.
And it's sort of, it's a weird thing because you just throw them in the pot and then you.
Yeah, but you're not meant to do
and then
that.
like they scream.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
think-
really have. What
They
is
say
it, the
it's-
gas
they say it's
escaping?
gas
Yeah.
And they're like, and the gas is like,
Wait,
oh
what?
God, I'm a lobster and I'm boiling. It's
Did they
horrible.
actually scream?
Yeah, they make a screeching noise when you throw them in the boiling water, but people say it's gas escaping their shell. Which, when I
here's the thing.
scream, it's also gas escaping through my mouth
Through
in
your
a
shell.
scream. Yeah, that's exactly what that
So it makes
process
total
is.
sense. Like in South Park, whenever somebody dies, they poop, right?
No, what? I haven't
In
seen
South
South
Park-
Park in a while.
If you die, that's correct, right? Miles is saying he's supporting me. If
Hey,
you
Miles,
die in South
Miles,
Park,
hey, Miles,
they
when
take
you
a
die
shit.
in South Park, what happens to you when you die in South Park?
If you're Kenny, you're eaten by rats, and if you're someone else, you shit your pants.
If you're
you
Kenny,
shit
get
your
eaten by
pants.
Yeah, but Kenny didn't always get eaten by
No,
rats.
I mean, do
They did.
people when people actually die, do they? You were a medical guy. Do they actually
Yes,
shit their pants?
it's a big problem with executions.
I think
Okay,
they
so
get
let's go back
bonus.
to
Among
the
other
lobsters.
things, like people getting
so
killed.
are the lobsters taking a poop in the boiling water?
Does that,
But-
I
does that
think the
matter?
poop boils.
It's actually better if your food poops before you eat it, wouldn't you think?
I don't know. Is it better on the inside or the outside?
How are
with-
we all of a sudden
With
on
shellfish,
food?
like with a shrimp, all you have to do is pull the anus out, don't you? That's like the only preparation you
Yeah,
do.
but the poop,
Pull the anus out.
Well, you
Pull
got
the
it.
anus
the poop
out.
problem goes deeper than the anus.
Do you know what an anus is? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Butthole.
it's the whole back of the shrimp that you're taking off.
Imagine the whole back of
They
the
call
shrimp.
it deveining, but it's not a vein.
Yeah, it's like a long tube anus.
It's colon, not anus. It's just two different things.
Yeah, but you
Long
pull it
tube
all out, and then the anus pops off the end, doesn't it?
We should.
The anus comes along with everything else, yeah. But if you just take the anus, you've
Yeah,
left
I'm
a
saying.
lot of stuff you
I'm
don't want.
saying, compared to a lot of other animals, you have to degut them and get all the giblets out and all that stuff. With a shrimp, you just pull the anus off and all the intestines.
Stop.
I don't
Anus.
think shrimp has.
So,
does
two
shrimp
more
have
events?
intestines?
It has like a poop track.
There's more events.
Tell
that
us,
we're doing.
Barbara, who else is going?
We're also going to VidCon, which is August 1st to 4th. Us three are going to VidCon.
We're going to a crawl.
What is Bitcon?
VidCon.
VidCon? What's
Gus,
vid?
I'm not
It's
Guys.
basically, VidCon is essentially YouTube Con.
Yeah.
We decided that we were going to throw you a surprise party the weekend after RTX. We didn't tell you that. We told you you were coming to a party, but then you showed up,
Yeah.
and it was a big surprise.
You just basically told me it was in replacement for that 4th of July event that you're going to have just your barbecue on Saturday so more people could come. And I didn't think anything of it. This is fun.
So you showed up, and you were legitimately surprised.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I did the classic thing I always do to you whenever you're coming over is I tell you you have to stop and pick up something that I forgot to get.
yeah, I always ask you like days before and then again on the morning of whenever I'm going over to your house if you need anything. Because, you know, I'm a nice guest. My parents raised me well. And
And it's always the same thing.
Shout out to
Yeah.
the Dunkelmans.
It's always limes.
so, yeah, you asked me to pick up limes.
Mhm.
And so I did that. I actually called you at one point and asked you where I could get limes. I found them, so we're good. I showed up. Your front door was locked. So I went over to the back, but your gate was closed.
Right.
And this is a gate that, like, you don't just swing open. Like, it's a remote control, needs to be open or something.
Yeah.
And then you show up and open the gate for me.
And that was a big delay tactic so that people would know you were coming in.
Looking back on it now, it should have been
Did you hear me
obvious.
talking? Like, oh, hey, Barb, it'll need a second. Barbara. I said your name about 1,000 times.
Let's go around the corner.
Barbara. Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I turned around the corner, and it was, like, at least 10 to 12 people there, all with, like, the little beep and balloons and
Why
streamers
did
and
everyone
shit.
beep?
Well,
We had
what
what are those things called with the zip, with the... Yeah,
Yeah,
party
see?
favors. I don't know, what are those things called? I don't even know.
Blowies.
Blowy
kazoos.
kazoos. Yeah,
They're
they're the ones that unfurl.
And everyone's like, surprise! Ah.
Now, what you didn't see was the night before, we had the bright idea that we were going to bake you a penis-shaped cake because we thought that was funny because
Yes.
Barbara's thing is that she draws penises all
Yes,
the time.
that is correct.
That's a funny thing. So we thought we'd make you a penis-shaped cake. Except the two people that were going to make the cake, Miles came over to record the video that we did in Limbo, and Ashley and Erin, Miles' girlfriend, got together in my kitchen.
And voice of Blake.
They were going to make a cake. And you guys, absolutely no offense, are the worst cake makers on the planet.
I have to save face because right now I am currently blogging about how great of a cake and pastry maker
She
I
is,
am.
though.
So I'm saving face here. I'm actually not that terrible when I'm by myself.
So why'd you make a shit cake?
To be fair, it probably takes a lot more skill to make a cake that not only looks like a dick, but also tastes like a dick.
It was awful.
It's easy to make a cake that
Oh, we have
tastes.
we have
Look
some
at that.
video footage.
They broke my mixer.
What are
Look
they
at it. It's
doing to it?
Look at it creeping up the mixer.
Jesus.
Is there
We
a,
Not a
did
close
things
encounter.
out of order.
is there a piece missing from that? It's
Oh,
like
there's my mixer dying.
Why is that so yellow? What was
Well, what was the big thing you guys claimed, Miles? They said what? That they
It's-
put the ingredients in out of order.
It's no. Well, it's the bowl's fault. So we
It's like bread.
that's because it was out of order. Because the bowls, we wanted to be all Martha Stewart and be really cute and put bowls like smaller bowls with the eggs and another smaller bowl with all the baking soda and smaller bowl with the flour. But it turns out that the flour bowl was bigger than the sugar butter bowl. But we had to put the flour into the sugar butter bowl, and that's just not how it works. So we just dumped all the sugar butter in the flour
Didn't
bowl.
you also use a different kind of salt accidentally?
Yeah, we also used the wrong salt, and also it turns out we weren't supposed to use that kind of food coloring, and there were a lot of things that went wrong. Turns out sea salt is a little more potent than table salt. and we doubled the mixture because this giant penis.
Well,
we
if you're
gotta
trying to
make
make
a
it
giant
taste
dick.
even
Yeah,
more
yeah.
sauce
This
is
was
better.
a really big dick.
So it was like that. We
It
had,
wa-
we
it
had
was a
4
chode.
teaspoons of sea salt.
It tasted
removed the anus.
it tasted like we used real dick ingredients.
Yeah.
It's made with
Hey,
actual
listen.
dick.
It was
Look at it!
Wow.
Look, that is a chode.
authenticity. It
Also,
tasted like what it looked
They're showing a
like.
picture right now.
Yeah, they
You
got a
guys
picture of your
don't
cake
know
Could
how
you-
big
could
this
you-
thing actually was.
If you guys could make a cake that could eject another cake.
All right, easy.
We were gonna make it cream filled, but we even like
See,
screwed
I know.
that up. So.
I like the fact that
We
at
gave
some
up.
point the end, the tip kind of fell open and it was blood red inside.
Yeah.
It was like a
Yeah, we
gonorrhea
made it-
chode cake.
Yeah, we made it red velvet because we figured that people are dark red on the inside. We wanted to be realistic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it
So
works.
Yeah.
it was really realistic cake.
That's kind of.
Except it wasn't a
gross.
realistic cake because it didn't taste like cake. It tasted like a big, dense loaf of bread.
was-
All right, it
that
was a
somebody had
really
cooked by
realistic
leaving
dick.
the
According to Miles, it had pockets of goodness. Yeah. Pockets of really badness.
Just like a
lot of
real
pockets of badness.
kind of pockets of goodness.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
The goodness
That
was,
was a
where the
joke.
chocolate was. I ended up mixing this thing with my hand because we did break the mixer. I had a red hand for a while. It's
It
not
was
now.
pretty gross.
She had to,
go-
she had to give
go
it a
to-
hand job.
I had to go out and buy another mixer in the middle of all this. I had to run out and like buy a separate.
So what did it do? Did the dick get sucked up into the motor
It
of
was
the...
like, Gavin, it was like the sticky. It's like you make cake batter and you're like, oh, I want to taste that. It didn't look like that at all. It looked like bread dough that rises. It looked like that, and it was sticky. It stuck to everything. Like it wrapped tendrils around the mixer and then got up in the motor.
Is that what
Look,
you?
there it is.
Is that what you got me a different cake
Yeah, that's why I
Wait.
went out and bought you a separate cake.
with? Probably my
Look at that.
favorite.
It's
thing.
like
Oh,
potato
it looks
salad.
like vomit coming in there.
But we also discovered something about this, which is everyone's all gaga for red velvet. And what was the first thing we discovered about red velvet?
So the thing that's really disappointing about red velvet is that the only thing that makes it red is food coloring, which apparently also makes otherwise chocolatey cakes taste bitter.
Really bitter.
So, you know,
We used
I don't know why it's a thing.
2
It's just
bottles.
chocolate cake
It's just chocolate cake.
with red food coloring. That's all red velvet is.
Really?
So when people say they really like red velvet cake, what they're really saying is they like the taste of red food coloring. And
Well,
that's
unless
it.
they like the bitterness of red food coloring.
Yeah, which apparently is like, it also makes it into a loaf of like horrible bread cake.
This
So,
is the basis
F,
for all
you get
French
Fs
cooking.
for cake making.
I loved it.
I
Thank
reckon
you
they get a
guys.
D.
You didn't eat any of it.
You told me not to. I liked the effort that
told
went
me-
into it.
You told me not to.
He told me not to. He's like, don't try it. Don't try it. I'm like,
I went out. I went to a bakery, Joel, and I got Barbara a separate like sheet cake to get her for her birthday, something edible that people could eat. I ran out and got it, and because I always talk to Barbara in nonsense, they said what the person said. I said I want a message on the cake, and the lady goes, oh, and she hands me like a piece of paper and a pen, and I write it down, and I wrote happy
Herpy.
Harpy Blarb Day Fnarb, and I handed that to the lady, and the lady looks at it and goes, nods and looks at me, and I
I
say,
just wrote herpes.
yeah, and I said to her, I said it's nonsense, but it just
Just
makes.
write
I
herpes.
said just write exactly what's on there, and she goes like that. I said it doesn't make any sense. The words don't make any sense, but and the lady just keeps nodding at me like this, and I go, you don't speak English, do you? She goes, no. So it's like I was doing a big long explanation. She didn't give a shit
Maybe
anyway.
she understood it. Like
Yeah.
maybe it was another
Maybe you
language and
wrote-
you didn't know.
You wrote in Russian.
She's from
fucked it up,
Oregon.
It probably, it probably was like, I'm robbing your bank. If you're a dude, it's like, I don't even know how to start. I mean, like, a dick cake, ha ha ha, jokes, jokes, jokes.
Could that be a shirt?
I mean, dick cake, yay.
I appreciated it.
I know. I mean, it's a thing where guys find it funny. Dick cake, guys are laughing. Chicks think it's funny.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. You're a chick. You think it's funny. Ha ha ha.
You can compare it to a vagina cake and how it's not funny.
But no one jokes about vaginas.
No, nobody
Well,
does.
vaginas,
That's where I was
Nobody
going.
does.
But
You're right.
like,
That is off limits.
vaginas aren't funny.
What's that?
vaginas aren't.
They're not funny.
Funny.
That you.
Well,
it's-
Ellen DeGeneres is funny.
Sure. Are you calling her a vagina?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
This is like.
But okay,
Just
imagine
feel like our female subscription base. It's like
Imagine, like-
abandoning
Sorry,
ship.
imagine like a mystery door about this big.
Please say something good. Just please say something good. Please, just say anything good.
Puppies and kittens.
There we go.
Am
Anything
I-
at all. Just
laughed,
abandon ship
I'm
on
saying
this.
you open the door like
Here we
an
go.
advent calendar. If it's a penis just hanging in there, if it's a vagina, it's like, oh. What the fuck? It's just not funny.
I asked for something
I
good.
can't
I
tell
asked.
you, like,
I
if I'm
one
unwrapping,
request.
If I'm unwrapping a package, I much would rather see a vagina.
Really?
than a dick, yes.
I think a vagina on its own is.
Gavin, if you're in a situation where you're unwrapping a package,
Yeah.
People want this on a shirt now, by the way. Oh, here comes Chris. Chris, what do you got?
Chris is mad.
dick jokes?
Chris, you came out with purpose.
Dick jokes?
I think he's just fixing something.
So,
Why does Chris have a small
you guys
door?
are girls. Vagina is not funny.
I'm saying a vagina on its own isn't funny.
Unless it has like
What
a
does
little
that
cigar.
mean? Like a freestanding
Like
one?
a dick.
there we go. That's it. A little more melted.
See, there's the collapse on the end that makes it look accurate.
What kind of dicks are you looking at?
Wait, why is the banana there? Is that for like scale? What is that? To feel
Why is there a
inadequate?
banana there?